Thank you. Thank you very much. I would like to welcome you all on Independent Research Ethics Society, AYUSH Samriddhi International Webinar Series. And the milestone is 2474. Due to your greatness, overwhelming support, mentorship, and guidance, we are now reaching towards 2,500 webinars, out of which 900 plus webinars have been conducted in the last year, 365 days. So I would like to welcome Dr. Suparna Sanyal Mukherjee Madam from Bolpur. She is not able to join, but she is kind enough that she has sent us her video. And now I would like to welcome our beloved Dr. Sankat Kumar Basuji from West Bengal and Alberta, Canada. Thank you, Sankat.
Namaste, Sharma ji. Thank you.
Today, as she has sent the video, I would like you first to guide us, bless us on the platform, on the subject.
Thank you. Thank you, Sharma ji. Like respecting parents and respecting elders has always been a part of our traditional culture across India. But definitely, as Dr. Sharma has pointed out, that there are numerous reports on the newspapers, there are discussions on social media as well as the mainstream media about the abuse of elders. That has it. We have to accept that this is happening. This is happening in and around us. This is happening in with our relatives. Maybe sometimes not with us, but maybe directly or indirectly we have seen this very close. So there is no doubt in accepting that this is happening. There are numerous horror stories from senior citizen centers across the country where people who are caregivers who are taking care of these helpless senior citizens, they have been caught on CCTV cameras or hidden cameras or mobile cameras while they're abusing others, abusing the senior citizens and stuff. And sometimes it is very, very sad. It is not just the external caregivers who are providing support in exchange of money. They are not related to that particular family. But there are also abuses directly from the family member, sometimes from the son or the husband or some son-in-law or daughter-in-law or daughter directly for various complex reasons and stuff. I'd like to explore this, like why this is happening, and why this is not happened before. Although we think that these are very new things that are happening in our society and stuff, I do not really agree with this. I sincerely believe that because the media is stronger now, because we have an access to the social media where people can take hidden videos or record some voice legally or illegally, and there are always chances of making it viral or sending it to the reporting agency and then taking care, or we have become more educated and aware that we take these issues sensitively, and we broadcast them, telecast them in order to make people aware. But it is not that it was not in existence before. Maybe not at the scale at what we see today, but definitely this was always there. I have countless reports, whether they are recorded in literature across various languages of India, or through anecdotes, or through other discussions, research documentation. This will show that the abuse of elders has always been there. But the reason we are thinking that it has expanded or it has become so big is because now it is getting reported. Previously, if there are, it's just like molestation or a case of a rape and things like that. Previously, we used to hide them for family honor, for social honor and stuff. We do not want to get these things out of our family, out of the houses, across the windows or the curtains. But because of the social changes, technology changes that we are having now, all these horror stories are coming out and we are getting an exploration of these. If you look into social media, if you are going into YouTube and even into countless newspapers and magazine reports, there are many, many instances of these happening. I have seen in many cases where, like in the last Kumbh, if you'd see that there has been many cases at the end of the Kumbh, when the police are rounding up things and closing down, they are finding various senior citizens who have come with their family members. They have been dumped there and they have left them. which is so sad. They have come, say, from maybe a distant part in Uttar Pradesh or Rajasthan or Gujarat or somewhere, and these helpless people are so not education savvy. Sometimes they could not even provide the address or the context from where they have come. They do not know any phone number. They could not say their districts and stuff, and the police send them to the homes for the destitutes. I do not know, like as I am aware of, the homes and the orphanages and the destitutes or the senior homes maintained by the governments, whether it's state or central government, are themselves in a very deplorable conditions. They are poorly managed, very poorly funded, and even there are abuses in those government houses. For people working there may not be getting salary at all, or their salary is disrupted, or sometimes there is rampant corruptions in these places. So all these are leading to like this frightful scene of when we look into this and we think into our old age, hope this does not happen to me. And even the cases of innumerable incidences of senior home citizen, some of them are very highly paid. Like you have the for those parents, particularly those who work abroad or work in other state, they have only one children, and it may or may not have been genuinely possible for the son or daughter to take the parents with them, or to accompany them in their family due to various social constraints, economic constraints. They may have placed them in the what you call it, the senior citizen home. Even in that senior citizen home, there are innumerable reports that they are very well ill treated. Their medications are not provided, food is not adequate, and sometimes if they are complaining, they are getting strong abuses. Sometimes those who are extremely helpless, those who could not change their dresses, could change their nappies, they are waiting their bed, they are living on the feces and urine, and there have been many string operations done by various television channels. There has been discussions and debates on television, various YouTube channels, as also on the FM radios and the Akashvani, discussing about these challenges, that this is happening in very real time. Ideally, this should not happen to our society. Ideally, the traditional society and the traditional values as Indians we have, and the way we grow up, this should not have happened in our family. But unfortunately, though, this is happening in many cases, in many more cases than we would like to admit. And one of the reasons that I feel is that we have become selfish. Our life has become so much like a rat race. And if you'd see that in many parents who are abused today, if you look into their history, you will see that they have never provided that training to their kids when they are growing up. They were only encouraged to go into the rat race. They were separated from their grandparents. Many parents did not allow the interaction between their grandparents and their grandchildren, always considering them to be a burden rather than a valuable member of the family. And particularly for those who are well-to-do, particularly where I am taking about parents who have been well-to-do and senior citizens, they are still taken care of, and even then they are neglected. Think about those helpless souls who have spent all their money to the best of their ability to raise their kids, son and daughter, and now at the old age they are completely helpless and they're dependent on them, and they are mistreated. You will see numerous reports of people being left out in the fairs, in the rural and urban areas, around the rail station, around temples, mosques, and other areas where people have these, that they will come with them and drop them there and leave, pathetically, making us think how the society is changing and transforming. Now, one of the significant reason I would say that I have investigated over various reports and magazines, the trend shows that this is also common among the poorer section of the societies, because when you are hitting old age, we do not have the benefits of old age coverage or the treatments, etc., available from the hospital. People who are making their ends meet and are surviving themselves under very short constraints themselves, when it comes to the time that their parents' regular health issues add up to their daily cost, it is when things starts getting challenging. But it is quite natural when you are hitting your 65, 70, 75, 80, these age ranges, the bulk of your medical cost is definitely going to come at this time, whether it is in the term of various kinds of ailments, mental health issues, stomach issues, or even at old age we have the challenges of not being able to walk properly and falling within the house or even within the washroom, and getting injured or fractures and stuff happening. And as soon as you become invalid, then your value in the house even goes down because someone has to take care of. In most and a vast majority of Indian families, there we are unable to hire professional care for taking care of people who are terminally ill, because this is a huge cost. Only a handful of the families could afford that. So what happens is some of the family members, either they take turns, or sons and daughters take turns and take care of their parents. And if under some cases where they have economic constraints and stuff, they start looking this as a burden. Or even if it is not a financial burden, even if you think about taking, dressing, cleaning them, providing them medication, helping if you are on tube-based diet, where you cannot take food intake anymore directly, and the Riles tube has been placed, or you are suffering from COVID and other complicated issues where your respiratory care has to be taken up every time there is a monitoring. This could have been done better, as it is in Western countries, in senior citizen homes, where there are trained staff who take care of this, but they have a substantial small population. In a vast country like us, and where the cost of expenses have been going high, where people's income has not been increasing, it is quite challenging for low income families to provide that cater or have that higher help for treating them. As a consequences, they are themselves trying to take care, which mostly they are untrained. Many times they forget the medication, and even I can understand the cost of medication is devastating for middle income families, for lower income families. To provide that medication lifelong is not a matter of joke. So all these strategies or all these strategies are adding up to our life. The societal pressure and the change in societal value and norms are adding to these challenges, for which we are seeing this senior citizen health crisis, and particularly their abuse in the family. Furthermore, our life and our society is restricted and regulated by money, whether we wish to accept it or not. We have to understand that whenever the supply of money through your income generation path, whether it is in form of your pension earning, whether it is in form of your FDs, or whether it is in the form of your senior citizen saving or incomes that is coming, as soon as they start drying up over the time, today or tomorrow you become burdened. Maybe this can happen to us. Maybe our children also can think about the same and treat us like burdens and trash. Maybe we will be also facing the same consequences. So um, the best valuable suggestion at this particular point is for all those parents who spend extensively everything that they have for raising their kids. I'll always like to advise them, keep something for your old age, particularly when either of the spouse has passed away. If the husband has passed away, the wife is all by themselves. If the wife has passed away, the husband is by themselves. And particularly Indian males, they are helpless. They have never done cooking. They do not know how to wash their clothes and stuff. And particularly with advancing age, they are dependent on that wife for everything, for medication to emotional support. And when a woman survives, an older senior citizen woman still survives in absence of the husband, but the husbands, in absence of their wives at their old age, usually go through a very, very miserable life because they're pampered. All the life their mothers have done everything for them, and all the life the wife has done everything for them. They are so pampered that at this old crisis age, they are unable to sustain themselves. And as soon as you become dependent on others, there are repercussions of that. And these are essential challenges of our life that we all have to face. So it is important that we start preparing for these at a much younger age. We need to save something for our own unique survival. Both husband and wife, single individuals, men and women, all need to think about how they should invest their part of some money to secure their old age. If you die, then it is a blessing of God. But if you are injured, if you have long term treatment necessary, and your life is long prolonging, life is the passing away is not in our hand, then it becomes a very, very painful process when you're dependent on others. Every time you beg for money, whether it is your son, whether it is your daughter, whether it is your son-in-law, daughter-in-law, wherever you go, even today, even in the very well established family, as soon as you become financially dependent, no matter what, your mistreatments start getting over. So these are various social, economic, and emotional challenges, particularly with respect to mental health. Also, our senior citizens are highly traumatized. First, they feel that they are not a part of the family. Their values have subsided. They are no longer being included in important decisions of the family. They are not informed about important decisions. They are just there as an old furniture. They are being taken care of. They are being, provided with the medication and the money and maybe the treatment that they need, but out of every emotional need that they need, or which is they have a right, they slowly get cut off. I understand for those who are completely bedridden or where the mental health has been severely impacted, there is no point in passing out any other information. But even for able bodied senior citizens who are going through hardship times, they feel very isolated and separated from the family in the closest from, whether they are staying with their son, whether they are staying with their daughter, as if they are not a part. They are invited guests in their family. They are no longer a family member. They are a burden. I have seen this among very close members. I have seen it in the poorer families. I have seen it in low income, mid income, to very high income families, where an individual over times is being treated as what you call it, as a burden. For many, I have those who are going through financial crisis and stuff. They have the heart. They want to do the best for their ailing, parents or their ailing family members, but they do not have the means. They do not have the financial support. Many times I have come across people who are breaking down and praying to God that, oh God, help me by taking the individual away in your arms, because I'm not being able to provide him or her the treatment that she deserves. I have very little reserves left. What should I do tomorrow? This very sadness, the lack of universal health care, and our senior citizens protective care with respect to health, family care, wellness, and what you call it, the mental health part, considering to us for such a huge population that we have, is a significant challenge. So all this, I do not want to say like end in a negative note by saying all looks hopeless, but these are the realities of life that we also need to face and consider the challenges that are coming in our way. Always, I will say this to every individual, whether you have mistreated a senior citizen, your parents, or elderly persons related to your parents, unrelated to your parents. Remember this one thing, that no one on this planet can overcome this old age, this seniority, the senility, the senescence, the challenges of breaking health, the challenges of not being able to leave the bed, and other related challenges. So, if you are mistreating someone today, knowingly or unknowingly, under compulsion, or knowing it very fully well, remember that your time is limited too. And today and tomorrow, you have to face the same consequences, because we'll all have to go through the same process. So it is important that we understand the sensitivity of the dealing with senior citizens and make them a part of our family to the best of our ability. It is not easy. I told you that this is very, very challenging. Even the coolest of the person sometimes lose their temper with while treating senior citizens with their multiple requirements increasing over the time, putting emotional, financial, social, and psychological pressure on the individual who has to provide everything, but still they deserve something, because when we were young, they were the one who have done their best to cater us, and the life that we see today is because of them. So it is important that we control our temper. It is important that in spite of the hardship, we need to move forward and treat them well and provide the best that we have. But again, we have constraints, I agree. There are limitations in our society. There are limitations for individuals to provide those cares. And we are definitely at the crossroads of a very chaotic social system currently, with increasing population, with increasing pressure on government hospitals and stuff, and the cost of private healthcare skyrocketing. People are sandwiched between despair and opportunity, frustration and looking the silver lining behind the clouds. So, with this, I conclude my presentation, saying that we are at a very trying, hard time, but in spite of that, we need to move forward, provide the best under these current circumstances to our senior citizens, to our parents, to our loved ones who have reached a particular age. Thank you, Dr. Sharma.
Thank you, Dr. Sekat Vasuji. Thank you. And now I would like to invite Dr. Suparna Sanyal Mukherjee, madam, who is very kind enough that due to his her busy schedule and travel, she has communicated us her video, blessings in video. So thank you, Madam Suparna.
Very good evening to the all dignitaries over here. Thank you very much to provide me another opportunity to say. Very good evening, all dignitaries over here. Thank you very much to provide me another opportunity to say on this the very important point and burning point to this juncture, that is the taking care of the parents. So this is a very difficult task for the people, especially the present juncture, how to take the care of our parents. There is no formula, there is no kinds of guidelines, but we have to take, because it is a moral education, it is a value education, and it is a morality to look after our parents, especially the old age people and those who are surviving and those who are living in this modern era. There are various types of social organization, like the old age home, the taking care of the people those who are really in distress, they are looking after them. But the people, those who are taking care of the people, especially the old age people, they are not so much of this provide any kinds of good juncture and the good gesture and the good support to them. That's why they are also suffering, and they are the very important part of this old age, that is the loneliness. Because maybe the parents, both the parents is surviving, and some cases one of the parents may survive, another one may not be survive. So this is the problem for them, how to survive in this society and how to take care of this the society. Because in some cases it has been observed that for the job purposes, the children has go abroad, and they cannot stay with their parents, and they cannot take the parents to them, because the mental gap, there is the gap between the generation. So that's why it is very important to the persons, those who can take care of these old age people. But these old age people are very important to us, because they are taking care of the children, they are taking care of the grandchildren. So that's why the support, it is a type of the the banyan tree. So till such time we are under the banyan tree, that means we are safe. So this is the situation which has been needed for us. At the same time, previously it was a joint family system, when the other family members can take care and can take the responsibility of the parents, can take the responsibility of the relatives. But nowadays the nuclear family system, it is very difficult part for the people to look after their parents, especially the grandparents, like those who have the aged, especially the above 70 years or above 80 years old. At the same time, they are suffering from different types of ailments, different types of disease, which may not be looking after properly, which is needed the proper care, which is needed the institutional care. That's why we can say that the taking care of the parents is very important part. And for the medical purposes, if we can, depending upon the people, the oldest people can depending upon the AYUSH, then it will be the very good for them, so they cannot suffer different types of diseases. But nowadays it has been observed that the oldest people are very sensible, oldest people are very emotional, oldest people have the strategy to lose their sensation. That's why it is needed to look after and giving them more care. That's why they can be the survive the more life, the better life, and this the life sustainability. At the same time, the life expectancy will be enhanced by this the caring process. So we should be the more careful to look after these old age people. Though there is a old age homes are there, there is a homestay system is there. At the same time, the medical benefits are also there. so many medical benefits used to be needed, and the government is taking care of them. Government is giving so many privileges, and there is a old age system everywhere. We can find it out. The aged people are getting benefit in case of the traveling, in case of the railway, air, buses, everywhere they are getting the privilege, and they should get the privilege for the better life. So that's why the children, those who are parents are oldest, it is very important part to them to taking care of the parents like their child. So this is the second childhood. The second childhood, the people are surviving, especially the old age people, and taking caring parts is very important for the second childhood. Because childhood, when we are taking care of our children, that time they are growing up. But this time, the second childhood is their deterioration. So how to make the combine and how to maintain the balance with the growing up and the deterioration. That is the main point of this taking care of the old age people. So that's why we can say that the focusing on this old age people for our betterment, and it is not that the age is growing up, that means they have to die once. It is true, we all have to die once, but till such time, how many days if we can protect them, we can save them, and we can take care of them, it is their privilege. Not only their privilege, it is our privilege to living with them, to spend time with them, good time with them, because old is gold. We should always think about that. Thank you very much, the AYUSH SAMRIDDHI platform, who has given me such an opportunity for saying on
Thank
this.
you very much, madam. Thank you very much. You have shared your valuable experiences. मैं अब आदरणीय डॉक्टर सीपी शर्मा जी यदि फ्री हैं तो उन्हें आमंत्रित करना चाहता हूं। आदरणीय सीपी शर्मा सर, मेरी आवाज आप तक जा रही है सर? आदरणीय सीपी शर्मा सर, आदरणीय सीपी शर्मा सर तक मेरी आवाज जा रही है क्या? वैसे आवाज बैठी हुई है। So thank you very much for